In this episode of Teach Me Something, Markus Willard attempts to teach our real estate expert, Long Doan, how to unlock the Facebook lead generation formula with the split test. Markus is the manager of marketing and communications at Street Text. He has appeared in podcasts all across the industry, sharing his experience to convert Facebook seller leads and create funnels to achieve consistent sales with buyers and sellers. Markus demonstrates what it looks like to prioritize value-based activities, and he is passionate about connecting agents with those opportunities. Will Long learn something new from Markus? We will find out on this episode of Teach Me Something. Welcome to Teach Me Something, where our experts have 2 minutes to teach something new. I'm your host, Jesse Zgorski. Meet Long Doan. Long knows a lot about everything, but specifically real estate and leadership. Long has sold thousands of houses, but there's one thing you should know about him. Every day, he is committed to learning something new. And if he doesn't learn something new, he has to read a book for at least 20 minutes. Long loves to learn, but he hates reading books. Well, that's not totally true, but you get the idea. And Long has a short attention span because his brain is always thinking, which is why our contestants only have 2 minutes. Let's see if Long can learn something new on Teach Me Something. You got your screen share ready?
I'm ready.
Locked and loaded.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, let's do it.
Okay, so the topic today is how to unleash the lead generation formula, and this is for top of funnel social media, any social media, Facebook, Instagram specifically, but it'll apply to all social media. And this quadrant will allow you to become a lead generation machine overnight. Okay, so I'm gonna spare you the backstory and go right into the credibility here. 125,000 ads, 5 million leads. We know what we're doing since 2014. So how do you do it? 4 simple steps: ad creative, ad copy, split testing, and A/B testing. What's ad creative? Well, ad creative is 70% of your campaign success. It all comes down to the actual visual you're putting in front of that person on Facebook and Instagram. It's an image that's got to be local. It's an image that's got to be organic. It's an image that's got to be native. And if you make that the main focus, that's 70% of the equation right there for you to get the lead generation floodgates opened. Okay? Now, ad copy. Ad copy would be the actual call to action. I know I'm down to a minute. Here's some examples, some ad creative, just get your mind stimulated. Different variations of maps always work well. 15-mile radius, make sure the image fits that in. Different homes, architecturally sound to that particular neighborhood, and landmarks and so forth. The text that surrounds it, the copy, what's your home really worth, enter your address, receive your home values, things like that. Simple, easy, short, straightforward. The biggest of this all is split testing. 3 audiences, so you run exactly the same ad image, ad copy, ad creative, ad audience, everything's the same. You split those audiences. Instead of launching 1 ad, you launch at least 3. If you do that, your chances of getting results are phenomenal, and I'll show you and prove to you. A/B testing would be doing different variations of those images. If you do this, you unleash it overnight. Here's my examples. 5 of the same ads. The best one won right here. The ones that didn't win in the first $5-6 spent had no leads whatsoever. Same ad, same image, same copy.
At the wire. 2 minutes. Okay, here's what's incredible, Long. I've seen him do this presentation and take like half an hour or an hour. That was in 2 minutes or less. Go back and watch that on half speed. Markus, that was like watching Michael Jordan. Like, all right, Long, questions. What do you got?
Yeah, so that's awesome. So as you know, right, most agents get into industry and they become very successful right off the bat, 6 months to a year, because all their friends and family call them. After that, they're like, well, now what? You don't need me again for 7 to 9 years. So they don't do anything for marketing, and everything that you share with them, that I recommend everyone should do it. So what's the cost for someone to get in that's just starting out and don't have a ton of money for marketing?
Well, I'd say typically you just got to set aside an ad budget with Facebook. So that's is going to be your biggest variable cost. I would say, probably set aside $10 a day to be healthy. It depends. I mean, if you're in California, $10 a day is not going to go as far as, let's say, Louisiana. So where you can get away with $5 a day. So it just depends on your market, really. But in general, I would say, put aside $300 for Facebook ad spend for that month. Yeah. Now you can go do it yourself. Now, if you can use this principle, if you have any idea on how to use Facebook Ad Manager and Instagram, but if you're like, no, I don't want to learn all the 11 marketing objectives, I don't want to figure out the ad manager, I don't want to go through the headache of setting up funnels and automations and script strategies, all that good stuff, then you team up with Street Text, and it could get as low as $160 a month for that.
So $160 a month, and we can use you. And you would help create leads for us as a real estate professional.
It's a lead generation solution. So it's not just the ads itself, it's the automations, the scripts, the strategies, the integrations, things like BombBomb and HomeBot that will help you put it together, your follow-up boss system, KV Core, whatever you got, we put it all together and we supply you with a coach that helps you put that together. And then you have this most incredible collaborative community that helps you put together an entire solution. And, reverse engineer in some cases people that have done hundreds and hundreds of deals with Facebook, specifically with street text.
So about $300 a month average for social media budget, about $2,000 a year. So 336, $5,000 to $6,000 a year. You close one deal in most market, you more than break even. Why wouldn't people do this, Marcus?
They're not patient enough. They want results right now. Top of funnel is for people who are really about relationship. And, the idea is that you create a contribution focused, education focused, give first mentality, and you nurture those leads with your brand and give. And then all of a sudden they become appointments. It's like playing on a football field. I give you the ball at the 1 yard line. You have 99 yards to get down the field. Can you get into the end zone? It depends on how you have conversations and nurture that person versus traditional lead generation where you're fighting in the end zone for that Hail Mary pass and everybody, whoever's got the most money or the most talented wins.
So do you guys track that if someone who subscribed to this and actually do what they're supposed to do, because that's what happened, right? Most people don't do what they're supposed to do. What's a good ROI that they can probably count on? I mean,
easily 10 times over, if not more. I mean, the longer you stay with it, the more it gives, right? Because you can go back and I can show you clients from 5 years ago that have been with Street Text that have done hundreds of deals. So your ROI exponentially increases because you have sellers that become buyers that become sellers again, and then referrals that come out of it. And so it's all about how you nurture that database, and you need systems that allow you to do that. Systems like HomeBot, for example, are awesome. And then you unlock it even more with a preferred lender. And then you've got video there. You've got video automations going within your drip email. And then you got retargeting with more video. So you become the expert in that necessary field by creating that type of nurturing system.
So your program also has a coach that can help with all this stuff you just shared for $6,000 a year, which is $500 a month marketing budget that you don't need to go hire someone. You just subscribe to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing direct integrations all day. Like one of our next big direct integrations will be with, first it was with HomeBot. We're going into KV Core. Follow-up boss will be second. So there's a lot of easy ways to integrate with all the systems you already have too. And it keeps you out of what we call the frustration of labyrinth of, the ad managers. It's like frustrating. It's confusing, causes you to want to have a drink somewhere, always updating. APIs, it's just one of those things that we try to keep people out of. And at the end of the day, you want to see, what have I spent? What's my cost per lead? That's it. Really, that's what it comes down to. Everything else is just confusing and shiny little bells and whistles.
Would you say Street Text is a split buyer seller leads, or mostly one or the other?
We're well known for sellers, but we're becoming one of the best well-known buyer ads as well, and listing ads. So, and new construction, new development, just listed, everything you can imagine under the sun, because we can create custom ads too. But the great news about Street Tech is that we don't even template something unless we've had 300 people test it, and then it becomes a template, and 300 people that have tested it and have gotten good results. And then that aggregated data, it's like the Netflix of Street Text, because if you go, or of ads. So if you go into this quick scenario that I showed you, there are two variations. One says, what's your home really worth? Enter your address, receive your home value. The other one says, home values have changed recently with new market sales, get your new home value. At the end of the day, they all work, but the one that hits the home run is obviously the one that gets you the most leads, like $26 spent, $2 a lead. This one we quickly turned off after $5, wasn't doing anything, but it was the same exact ad. So the split testing, it splits the audiences. The audience is what gets you results. The audience is what finds the right people in the relevancy score. So A/B testing would be different text or ad image. Split testing is the same three audiences. You just let the best one win 24 hours later.
My last question then is, who's your typical avatar or agent that should be using this and subscribing to this?
Typically, I would say it's for that up and comer. But we're trying to make it a product to where it's for that person looking to get their, it's going to be for people that are trying to build a database. Like we're trying to make it to where there's a lot of people I know, even in a lot of the industries we work on, that are just trying to get that next deal. We want to help them too. But if someone is like you and you're very successful, the sky's the limit too. I've seen people that spend $100 a day on Facebook and just feed leads all day to their team. But it's really for the person that likes to take control, put their own brand presence in it. It won't be for somebody who just says, here's a lead, go close it. For somebody who's willing to embrace that it's all built on your brand recognition. So you're going to build automations with it being relationship focused.
I've got one last question then for you, Markus, and of course a question for Long. Has anything changed over the last few years in terms of the incubation time of a seller or a buyer lead from the time that, talking Facebook ads here, the time someone raises their hand on Facebook, where you said top of the funnel, is it still 16 to 19 months before it turns into a seller? Does it depend?
Man,
nothing really changed much.
I think the timeline's all over the place. Like I have people all the time that get a listing appointment within the first trial week for 7 days. But that's the exception to the rule, right? Like anybody can do that. It just depends on the timing. So I think you got to look at it as, for those who are good at asking the right questions, subjective questions, not just the typical, are there any updates or renovations should I be aware of? People that are good at matching disc profiles and reading people and winning friends and influencing people and just learning how to have great conversations, even if they're just quote unquote curious today, is the people that win that relationship faster in the appointment as well. Because then you're also educating them on the timing of the market and what's actually happening in the market, if it is a good time to sell for them.
I love it. All right. So speaking of asking good questions, Long, I got to ask you my favorite question to ask you, which is, did you learn something today?
Oh, absolutely. For $500 a month on average, I can grow my business pretty quickly if I was an up-and-coming agent.
Yeah, and if you're a seasoned agent too, I just think a lot of seasoned agents, they've created systems where they've leveraged and automated themselves and scaled and delegated. So it'd be hard for them to come back into that position to put their brand all over that again, right? Because they're like, I just wanted someone to do it for me. And it can be done, but you should have someone who's video savvy, who's an influencer that wants to work that model, and then it would work.
This is fun, Markus. I love it. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, buddy.
It was awesome.
Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.